Hey guys, welcome back to Crypto Clan. Today we'll be talking about news of Quant potentially being a step closer to being incorporated into a Federal Reserve CBDC. On the 10th of November, the official Quant Network Twitter page tweeted details in regards to a joint white paper write-up by Quant Network and the US Educational Institute MIT in regards to the implementation of CBDCs, the challenges and a solution. The paper went into detail in regards to the potential benefits which may arise through the incorporation of a national CBDC. Most notably, the paper detailed that the development of a CBDC network would remove limitations in current payment and financial infrastructure, namely security, data protection and criminal activity, has been a historical limitation associated with legacy financial infrastructure. The implementation of a DLT-backed CBDC would provide greater security in regards to overcoming illegal financial activity, whereby a semi-decentralized CBDC network would give governments and central banks the power to potentially monitor the nature of transactions occurring, and as a result, there will be an increased likelihood of illegal activity being halted, despite potentially reducing the risk of illegal transactions arising. The use of CBDCs, namely a semi-decentralized CBDC, will lead to privacy constraints. A semi-decentralized CBDC will lead to government bodies having direct view of transactions taking place. Such measures may lead to regulatory frameworks such as GDPR not being adhered to. However, a fully permissionless CBDC network may enable illegal financial activity to continue to occur. Somehow a balance must be struck. Despite potential limitations in both security and privacy in regards to CBDCs, there are two major benefits which make CBDCs a standout protocol for the future of global finance. One significant advantage includes the ability to induce the programmability of money or smart money. The use of tokenized cash, controlled by smart contracts, offers a massive opportunity to transform the transactional world and could revolutionize everything from cross-border payments to direct debits. The other major area of CBDC advantage is the provision of a single source of truth for compliance teams and for regulators who can access real-time compliance of any institution. This could lead to faster and much more efficient payment systems, offering many benefits such as lower reconciliation costs and easier dispute resolution processes. The development of a national CBDC would have to follow a number of parameters, namely the ability for cross-interoperability and compatibility with existing payment infrastructure. A CBDC system would need to be compliant with existing banking infrastructure, business workflows, whilst making minimal changes to current bank treasury processes such as settlements. The joint publication put forward that Quant Network's payment offering in its multi-ledger token solution, or MLT, acts as a mechanism for overcoming potential limitations in CBDC developments. Quant's multi-ledger token enables tokens, in this case future CBDCs, to be tracked in relation to ownership. The recording of the ownership of CBDCs will lead to the development of a semi-decentralized network, thus providing and maintaining a clear, auditable record. As well as offering a semi-decentralized network, Quant's MLT token system will act as a ledger of interbank retail and wholesale payments. The ledger can be operated by a central bank or other payment systems operator, and multiple ledgers can be deployed if, for example, a central bank needs to separate retail and wholesale payments. Quant's MLT system will provide the potential to induce bank authorization services, whereby banks will be able to process payments from a sending bank via bank DLTs. MLTs will act as the linchpin in the processing of such payments. This will occur whilst customer datasets being anonymous. This will provide the ability to detect fraudulent actions whilst maintaining confidentiality to the MLT system. Quant's MLT system will also act as a potential method of enabling cross-conversion of future CBDCs. The multi-ledger token will aid in providing transparency in payments, whereby MLT is used as the underbelly stablecoin in fiat CBDC transactions will act as an auditable record of the stakeholders involved in transactions. This will enable central banks and or governments in different nations to be able to interact and determine the stakeholders involved in transactions when CBDC activity has occurred. The auditable nature provided by Quant's multi-ledger token alongside the use of DLT technology when using CBDCs will lead to the formation of a semi-decentralized network, which would be highly advantageous for central banks, especially when determining economic activity and the nature of transactions taking place. These factors may assist central banks in making better monetary decisions. Other benefits surrounding CBDCs include ensuring payments are paid only to registered landlords. This would reduce the number of vulnerable people facing evictions for defaulting on rent payments. Emergency payments to vulnerable people. A CBDC would ensure that payments are used only for essentials and not for recreational purposes. Internet of Things, machine to machine. Automated charging of electric vehicles, smart meters and other pay-as-you-go applications can be in a CBDC that can only be redeemed by authorized providers, reducing any incentive for fraud. The white paper surrounding CBDCs, co-authored by Quant Network and MIT, coincides with MIT and the Boston branch of the Federal Reserve working on technology that could be used for a digital dollar. The research, dubbed Project Hamilton, will look at the technical challenges that need to be addressed when building a CBDC and is separate from a discussion paper the Fed board is expected to release soon, examining the policy questions surrounding a digital dollar, with MIT strongly involved in development surrounding CBDCs with the Federal Reserve. MIT's strong links to Quant and the research paper they have conducted in relation to the technological developments surrounding Quant's MLT system. Discussions and research conducted between MIT and the Boston Fed may lead to discussions surrounding Quant and the intrinsic benefits the network brings, most notably the mentioned advantages provided by its MLT system. With Quant's MLT system being protected by a number of patents, the innate benefits surrounding their technology can only be leveraged through Quant. What are your thoughts on CBDCs? Do you think Quant will be used in a Federal Reserve CBDC? Let us know your views in the comments below. Thank you for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, subscribe and click on the notification bell. Let us know your views in the comments below. Thank you for watching and we'll see you in the next video.